From translation, RSV Revised Standard Version, this 113th day of the year, today we are reading passages 2 Kings 6-8, 2 Kings chapter 6, verses 1 to 33. Now the sons of the prophet said to Elisha, Behold, the place where we dwell with you is too small for us. Let us go to the Jordan, and let us take each a pole, and let we make ourselves a place there, where we may dwell. And he answered, Do so. But one said, Be pleased to go with your servants. And he answered, I will go. So he went with them, and when they came to the Jordan, they cut down trees. But as one was felling a log, his axe head fell into the water, and he cried out, Alas, my master, it was borrowed. Then the man of God said, Where did it fall? When he showed him the place, he cut off a stick and threw it in there, and made the iron float. And he said, Take it up. And he reached out his hand and took it. Now the king of Syria was warring against Israel. And he consulted with his servants, saying, At such and such a place shall be my camp. But the man of God sent word to the king of Israel, saying, Beware that you do not pass this place, for the Syrians are coming down there. And the king of Israel sent to the place which the man of God told him. Thus he warned him, and he was on guard there more than once or twice. And the heart of the king of Syria was greatly troubled because of this thing, and he called his servants and said to them, Will you not show me who of us is on the side of the king of Israel? And one of his servants said, None, my lord, O king. But Elisha, the prophet who is in Israel, tells the king of Israel the words that you speak in your bedchamber. And he said, Go and find where he is, that I may send and seize him. It was told him, Behold, he is in Dothan. So he sent their horses and chariots and a great army, and they came by night and surrounded the city. And when the servant of the man of God arose early in the morning and went out, behold, an army with horses and chariots was all around the city. And the servant said, Alas, my master, what shall we do? He said, Fear not, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them. Then Elisha prayed and said, O Lord, I pray, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw. And behold, the mountain was full of horses, and chariots of fire round about Elisha. And when the Syrians came down against him, Elisha prayed to the Lord and said, Strike this people, I pray thee, with blindness. So he struck them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. And Elisha said to them, This is not the way, and this is not the city. Follow me, and I will bring you to the man whom you seek. And he led them to Samaria. And when they had come into Samaria, Elisha said, O Lord, open the eyes of these men that they may see. So the Lord opened their eyes, and they saw, and behold, they were in the midst of Samaria. As soon as the king of Israel saw them, he said to Elisha, My father, shall I slay them? Shall I slay them? He answered, You shall not slay them. Would you slay those whom you have taken captive with your sword and with your bow? Set bread and water before them, that they may eat and drink, and go to their master. So he prepared a great feast for them. And when they had eaten and drunk, he sent them away, and they went to their master. And the Syrians came no more on raids into the land of Israel. After this, Ben-Hadad king of Syria gathered all his army, and went up and besieged Samaria. And there was a great famine in Samaria. As they besieged it, the siege was so severe that an ass's head was sold for 80 shekels of silver, and the fourth part of a cab of doves dung for 5 shekels of silver. Now as the king of Israel was passing by on the wall, a woman cried out to him, saying, Help, my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord does not help you, how shall I help you? From the threshing floor or from the winepress? And the king said to her, What is your trouble? She answered, This woman said to me, Give your son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son and ate him. And I said to her on the next day, Give your son that we may eat him. And she has hidden her son. When the king heard the words of the woman, he rent his clothes. As he passed by on the wall the people looked, and behold, he had sackcloth beneath upon his flesh, saying, God do so to me and more also, if the head of Elisha the son of Shaphat remains on his shoulders today. But Elisha was sitting in his house, and the elders were sitting with him. And the king sent one man from before him. But when the messenger came to him, Elisha said to the elders, Do you see how this son of a murderer has sent to take off my head? Look, when the messenger comes, shut the door and hold the door fast against him. Is not the sound of his master's feet behind him? While he was still speaking with them, the messenger came down to him and said, This trouble is from the Lord. Why should I wait for the Lord any longer? 2 Kings chapter 7, verses 1 to 20. Elisha said, Hear the word of the Lord. Thus says the Lord, Tomorrow about this time a measure of fine flour shall be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, at the gate of Samaria. Then the captain on whose hand the king leaned said to the man of God, If the Lord himself should make windows in heaven, could this thing be? But he said, You shall see it with your own eyes, but you shall not eat of it. Now there were 4 men who were lepers at the entrance of the gate, and they said to one another, Why do we sit here until we die? If we say, we will enter the city, the famine is in the city, and we shall die there, and if we sit here, we die also. So now come, let us go over to the camp of the Syrians. If they spare us, we live, and if they kill us, we die." So they arose at twilight to go to the camp of the Syrians, and when they came to the outermost part of the camp, behold, there was no one there. For the Lord had made the army of the Syrians hear the sound of chariots and horses, the sound of a great army, so that they said to one another, "Behold, the king of Israel has hired against us the kings of the Hittites and the kings of the Egyptians to come upon us." Therefore they arose and fled away in the twilight, and left their tents, their horses, and their asses, even the camp as it was, and fled for their lives. And when these lepers came to the outskirts of the camp, they went into one tent and ate and drank, and carried from it silver and gold and clothes, and went and hid them. Then they came back and entered another tent, and carried from that also, and went and hid it. Then they said to one another, "We are not doing right. This day is a day of good news, and we are silent. If we wait until the morning light, punishment will come upon us. Now therefore come, let us go and tell the king's household." So they came and called to the gatekeepers of the city, and told them, saying, "We came to the camp of the Syrians, and behold, there was no one there, no voice of anyone, only the horses tied and the asses tied, and the tents as they were." The gatekeepers called out, and it was told within the king's household. And the king rose in the night, and said to his servants, "I will tell you what the Syrians have done to us. They know that we are hungry. Therefore they have left the camp to hide themselves in the open country, thinking, when they come out of the city, we shall take them alive and get into the city." One of his servants said, "Let some men take 5 of the horses that are left in the city. Behold, they are all like the whole multitude of Israel that are left in it, and let us send and see." So they took 2 chariots, and the king sent them with the horsemen, and they went after the army of the Syrians, and found them at the Jordan. And all the way was full of garments and equipment, which the Syrians had thrown away in their haste. And the messengers returned, and told the king. Then the people went out and plundered the camp of the Syrians. So a measure of fine flour was sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel, according to the word of the Lord. Now the king had appointed the captain on whose hand he leaned to have charge of the gate. And the people trampled him in the gate, so that he died, as the man of God had said, who spoke when the king came down to him. For the king had said to the captain, "Look, if we see any more of this, you shall not be the one to guard the gate." And as the man of God had said to the king, 2 measures of barley for a shekel, and a measure of fine flour for a shekel, shall be sold tomorrow about this time in the gate of Samaria. And the captain had answered the man of God, "If the Lord himself should make windows in heaven, could this thing be?" And he had said to him, "You shall see it with your own eyes, but you shall not eat of it." And so it happened to him, for the people trampled him in the gate, and he died. 2 Kings chapter 8, verses 1 to 28. Now Elisha had said to the woman, whose son he had restored to life, "Arise and go, you and your household, and sojourn wherever you can sojourn, for the Lord has called for a famine, and it will come upon the land for 7 years. So the woman arose, and did according to the word of the man of God. She went with her household, and sojourned in the land of the Philistines 7 years. And at the end of 7 years, the woman returned from the land of the Philistines, and went forth to appeal to the king for her house and for her land. Now the king was talking with Gehazi, the servant of the man of God, saying, "Tell me all the great things that Elisha has done." And while he was telling the king how Elisha had restored the dead to life, behold, the woman whose son Elisha had restored to life appealed to the king for her house and for her land. And Gehazi said, "My lord, O king, this is the woman, and this is her son, whom Elisha restored to life." And the king asked the woman, and she told him. So the king appointed a court officer for her, and said, "Restore all that was hers, and all the produce of the fields from the day that she left the land until now." Now Elisha came to Damascus. Ben-Hadad king of Syria was sick. And it was told him, "The man of God has come here." And the king said to Hazael, "Take a present in your hand, and go to meet the man of God, and inquire of the Lord by him, saying, Shall I recover from this sickness?" So Hazael went to meet him, and took a present with him of every good thing of Damascus, 40 camels' load. And he came and stood before him, and said, "Your son Ben-Hadad king of Syria has sent me to you, saying, Shall I recover from this sickness?" And Elisha said to him, "Go, say to him, You shall certainly recover. But the Lord has shown me that he shall surely die." And he fixed his gaze steadily on him until he was ashamed. And the man of God wept. Then Hazael said, "Why does my lord weep?" He answered, "Because I know the evil that you will do to the people of Israel. Their strong cities you will set on fire, and their young men you will slay with the sword, and their little ones you will dash in pieces, and their women with child you will rip open." And Hazael said, "What is your servant, who is but a dog, that he should do this great thing?" Elisha answered, "The Lord has shown me that you shall be king over Syria. Then he departed from Elisha, and came to his master, who said to him, "What did Elisha say to you?" And he answered, "He told me that you would certainly recover." But on the morrow he took the coverlet and dipped it in water, and spread it over the king's face, so that he died, and Hazael became king in his stead. In the 5th year of Joram, the son of Ahab king of Israel, when Joram was king of Judah, Jehoshaphat being then king of Judah, Jehoram the son of Jehoshaphat king of Judah began to reign. He was 32 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 8 years in Jerusalem. And he walked in the way of the kings of Israel, as the house of Ahab had done, for the daughter of Ahab was his wife. And he did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. Yet the Lord was unwilling to destroy Judah, for David his servant's sake, as he promised to give to him a lamp for his sons forever. In his days Edom revolted from the rule of Judah, and made a king over themselves. Then Joram crossed over to Zair, and all his chariots with him. And he arose by night, and smote the Edomites who had surrounded him and his chariot commanders. So the Edomite revolted from the rule of Judah to this day. At that time Libnah revolted from his rule. Now the rest of the acts of Joram, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? So Joram slept with his fathers, and was buried with his fathers in the city of David, and Ahaziah his son reigned in his stead. In the 12th year of Joram, the son of Ahab king of Israel, Ahaziah the son of Jehoram king of Judah began to reign. Ahaziah was 22 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 1 year in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Athaliah, the granddaughter of Omri king of Israel. He walked in the way of the house of Ahab, and did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, as the house of Ahab did, for he was the son-in-law of the house of Ahab. Now he went with Joram the son of Ahab to make war against Hazael king of Syria at Ramoth-Gilead, and the Syrians wounded Joram. Then he returned to Jezreel to be healed of the wounds which the Syrians had given him at Ramoth-Gilead, when he fought against Hazael king of Syria. And Ahaziah the son of Jehoram king of Judah went down to see Joram the son of Ahab in Jezreel, because he was sick.